Hi and welcome back to our channel. I know you can't see me, but you can hear me. But what I want you to see is the stuff that I have here on the counter. I want to talk to you about this today. I have here rosehip powder, acerola berry powder, amla powder, and a little hawthorne berry powder. And over here on this stove warming up I have some honey, local honey. Now, what am I doing with these? Well, recently I saw a recipe online for what's called vitamin C balls. And they're little pea-sized balls that people make to get a good dose of vitamin C. Now, why would we want to take our vitamin C in this form as opposed to, say, an ascorbic acid, like this product, for instance? Well, there's another vitamin C product. Let me see if I can find it quickly here on my little roundabout. This product right here I have recommended for a lot of people, and I still do. This particular vitamin C is what's called buffered. It has magnesium, calcium, potassium, and I think zinc. Let's see, yeah, zinc. Vitamin C, calcium, magnesium, zinc, and potassium. Yes. But this, while it is non-GMO, is made from corn. And my husband and I recently tested sensitive to corn. So a friend of mine recommended this, which is not based on corn. I think that it's made from tapioca, if I'm not mistaken. But at any rate, it is a vitamin C form that those of us who are corn sensitive can use. However, I've begun to research more about this, and while I do believe that these have their place, I believe that we need to more and more go toward food as our medicine. And that has always been my philosophy, but now I'm beginning to apply it at a deeper level. The reason that I am going this direction and experimenting with this with the vitamin C is because I know that vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin, so it's very easy to get deficient. So we have to continually be taking vitamin C in our diet. But because vitamin C in these foods is not just ascorbic acid. It's not just ascorbic acid and magnesium, potassium, calcium, and zinc. It's those things plus a lot of other things that God put in there together. It's bioflavonoids, it's rutin, it's mineral cofactors. Yes, it's ascorbic acid. It's tyrosinase, it's ascorbinogen. It's a lot of different cofactors that cause the vitamin C to be properly utilized in our body. And my concern is growing more and more that if we take just part of it, whether it's this, and even this one has, you know, replaced some of the minerals and stuff that you could become deficient in, because if you just take an ascorbic acid form, you actually, my concern more and more is that you can deplete your body, because the ascorbic acid has to find those cofactors to kind of balance things out so that it can function properly in the body as vitamin C should. So if we take it more in the form that it's found in nature, I believe we won't become deficient in those cofactors. So what am I doing here? The recipes that I saw for the vitamin C powder seemed to be very forgiving. A lot of the people used different types of vitamin C powders, and so I've chosen these three. They seem to be three that are very high. And then the hawthorne berry, I'll show you what I'm going to do with that in just a minute, although I do add just a little bit of that into the recipe. But predominantly it has another purpose, which I'll show you in just a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1/3 cup of each of these powders in this little bowl here, and we'll mix up, and I'll show you how I make these vitamin C balls. And they're actually quite tasty. They're a little on the tart side, which you would expect. By the way, any wild edible or medicinal that has that sour, tart taste typically is going to be high in vitamin C. And all of these products right here are high in vitamin C. So we're going to take a 1/3 cup, as I said, of each one. And, you know, depending on, I'll have to get a little bit more, that wasn't full, but depending on how many of the balls you want to make is depending on, you know, that would determine how much. I mean, you could use 1 cup of each if you want to make a whole bunch of these. But at any rate, this one, the Amla powder, kind of tends to be a little lumpy. So it makes me work a little bit harder in stirring this up. So you can see the lumps in the bowl there. It likes to make these big lumps. You can go ahead and break those up. Okay. So I'm going to work on this. I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of the Hawthorne berry powder right in the mixture because it does help open up the blood vessels and stuff. I don't have good hand strength right now. I've been having some hand problems. But at any rate, okay, we'll put about a tablespoon in there. I'm going to set that aside because I have another use for the Hawthorne berry powder in just a minute. So I'm going to mix these in together, and I'll come back and show you with the honey what I do. Okay, I've heated up the honey so that it's a little bit thinner, more fluid. And I'm just going to pour. I don't measure the honey. I just kind of want it to sort of stick all these powders together. So you just have to kind of eyeball it. I'm sure that was at least 1/4 cup right there. And then you just start working it together and stirring. And this takes a little bit of time, so I won't bore you with watching me stir. But you just start working it in and adding honey as you need to. And I'll come back and show you what it looks like when I get it all worked together. Just show you my progress here. It's not quite done, but it's becoming really gooey. I don't want to add too much more honey because I don't want it to be too wet. So if I keep working with it, the powder that's still on the bottom of the bowl will kind of work into this. So I'll come back when I have it completely done. Okay, I ended up putting a little bit more honey in it and than what I wanted really, but I'm kind of handicapped right now with my hand being bummed up. So anyway, you can see it's pretty sticky. And in order to make balls out of this, what I do is take a little bit. You can use a knife or a knife and spoon or whatever, however you want to do it. Just take a little bit. Now the recipes that I saw online, they made little tiny balls like the size of a pea. But I guess, in my opinion, this is a good time for the super size me. The last ones I made a little bit bigger than this yet, even. So you just make them into little balls, roll them in the Hawthorne berry powder, and store them in a little glass jar. So this is going to take me a while, so I'll probably make them a little bit larger. But you can see, you just sort of roll it into a ball, roll it in the Hawthorne berry powder, and eat it. Mmm, so tasty. How much vitamin C is in this? I have no idea, but it's way more than an orange for this little bitty ball. Anyway, I hope you're inspired to try it. One other thing that I should add is making them larger like this. You probably, I mean, it's not going to hurt you to eat more than a couple a day. If you're not aware of it, the way to tell that you've had enough vitamin C is when you start getting loose stool. So you probably have to eat quite a number of these, but we tend to eat about 2 of these a day, like morning and evening, because vitamin C, being water soluble, is used up fairly quickly. So it's good to take it throughout the day in divided doses. So we'll take it like right before our meal or right with the meal or something. Enjoy!